God. She says, I'm going to give God the money and God's going to, I don't know, she must have heard Paul before Paul even said it, but she realized that my God shall supply all of my needs according what to his riches and glory. And if he gave this to me, this really belongs to him, so I'm going to give it back to him because I really trust in him. Now, a whole lot of people got a whole lot of money, but they ain't trusting in him, they trusted in the money. That's why we got to talk about faith and finances. But are you a faith and or a faith in person? Because watch this. When she gave, her giving declared, God, I trust you. Watch this, with what I have left. In other words, she was saying, God, I trust you with it all. Who can declare that tonight and really mean it? God, I trust you with it all. Because see, we say a lot of stuff. But then when God brings us to the table and God holds us accountable, we want to get frustrated. See, if God, you can have it all, then God can have it all. But we don't say that. We say it, but then God says, okay, let me get it. And we have a problem. Because watch this. When she gave, she said, God, I trust you with everything. I trust you with my little. I trust you with my future. And I trust you with my needs. Oftentimes, we struggle to trust God because we can't see what God is doing. Let's just declare that tonight. We can't see God sometimes doing it, so we struggle to trust him because I can't see what you're doing. But I don't know if you're going to trust him. We say it, so let's do it. God, I trust you when I can't trace you. I believe you when I can't see you. So if that's what you're going to say out of your mouth, then you got to now put that into action. You got to become the very thing that you're saying. This woman walked up and a bunch of wealthy people and said, this all I got, but God, you can do a lot with a little. I think we heard that Sunday. You put a little bit in God's hand and God can turn it into a whole lot. Tell somebody tonight, God, you can do a lot with my little. But we got to trust God. We've got to trust God enough to say, God, you can have it. I want somebody to put on the screen tonight, God, you can have it all. You can have it all. Because if God truly gave it to you, why can't he get it back for you? If God truly gave it to you, then why can't he give it back to you? But watch this. It takes a level of faith, takes a level of trust. I'm moving on. Watch this. Watch this. She showed what faith and can do. This rich young ruler now shows us what faith in will do. Because watch this. Faith in relies on possessions instead of God. When you look at Mark 10, 21 and 22, when he's talking to this rich young ruler, he comes to Jesus. Watch this. He has enough faith to know who Jesus is. He has enough faith to ask Jesus certain questions. He says, how do I get eternal life? Jesus says, well, and I'm paraphrasing, says, have you followed the commandments? Have you done what God says to do? He says, yes, I've been doing that since a little boy. He says, good, great, that's what you're supposed to do. But there's one thing that's stopping you. Rich man, what is that? He says, go sell everything you have, give it to the poor, and come follow me. And the Bible declares that the man walked away sorrowful. He walked away crying. Why? Because God asked for something that he put all his faith in. He couldn't believe that if I give all this away, you can give it all back to me. So like most of us, he walked away because I would rather hold on to what I got than to grab hold of something that I really don't know if it's there. See, like this. I said this today, and faith doesn't ignore or discredit or deny the facts. It just overrides it. See, faith knows that we are struggling. Faith knows that money tight, change is strange. Right there. Faith knows that it's hard to go to the grocery store now and say you're going with $100 and you walk out with a pack of lunch meat, some cheese and bread. Faith knows this, but faith can override it because faith can take that same $100. You go get you some lunch meat, you go get some cheese, you go get some mustard, you get some mayo, right there, you get some chips, you get you something to drink, you get you some bread, and all you had was $100. Now just last week you came in here, and that was your whole 100. Now you come in here and you do it. Not only do you spend 100, but you get change back. God, when we put our faith in him and not in what we have, he can override the situation. He got all power in his hand. Isn't that what we say? That he rose with all power? So if he got all power, why can't we trust him with all things? I'll slow down. If God has all power, church, if that's what we declare, if he has all power, then why can't we trust him with all things? Because isn't it funny? We'll ask God for increase, and then God will supply the increase, But then we can't give God from it because we think it's going to be a decrease. If you had nothing and God gave you something, and then God says, give me a little bit of what I gave you, what makes you think he can't give it back to you? Because like this rich ruler, we put all of our trust in our possessions. We look at the things that we have, and what we have, we determine who we are. Let me tell you something. There's somebody tonight, and I'm not speaking this over nobody, but there's somebody tonight that got a whole lot of money, got a big old house, got the fancy car, right there, go to work if they feel like it, can eat what they want to eat. Right there, if they want to go to Paris tonight for dinner, they can. But watch this, when all that's said and done, they by themselves. They're alone. They depressed. They don't have no friends. They got to manufacture things. They gotta pretty much pay people to come and socialize with them just so they can have a few moments. Right there, peace is way more expensive than trying to hold on to a piece of something. I would rather have my peace than to try to hold on to a piece of something just so I can tell somebody that I am something. My house don't make me who I am. My car don't make me who I am. My job don't make me who I am. I am who I am because that's who God said I am. And if that's who God said I am, that's who I am. If you're going to trust God in this season with your finances, your faith can't be faith was. His faith was in the money. His faith was in the wrong place. You hear people say this all the time. Oh, money is the root of all evil. That's not what the Bible says. The Bible says that the love of, in other words, when you make money your God, it's going to lead you to the road of evil. Because everything now, watch this, centers around money. If you have it, everything good. If it's not, you're going to do whatever you got to do to get it. You don't care who you hurt. You don't care who you step over, who you step on. I got to get to what? The bag. How about get to Jesus? How about get to your peace? How about get to your joy? How about get to your salvation? And then watch this, the money will come. I think the Bible tells us that if we trust in God, if we go to God first, watch this, and believe in him and all of his righteousness, then all of these other things will be added. If we go to him and trust in him, he'll add everything else. We want everything else, and then when we get it, we look at it, it's not enough, God add to it. It don't work that way. But I dare somebody to put on the screen, I'm trusting God tonight. I'm trusting God tonight. His faith was in his wealth. And when we put faith in our wealth, we will always struggle to completely trust God. When our faith is in the things that we have, when our faith is in our paycheck, we will always struggle, watch this, to trust God. And watch this, the struggle happens because now we're taking our wealth and our possessions and we're substituting that for our trust. See? That's why it's easy to give God praise when the bills are paid and you got food on your table, clothes in your bag, gas in your car. It's easy to give God praise. But David said, I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praise will continually be in my mouth. Paul said, I've learned to be both abased and abound. I know how to give God praise when I got it. I know how to give God praise when I don't got it. I know how to tell God thank you for the little. I know how to tell God thank you for the much. But we tell God thank you when we got it all together. But we struggle when we don't have it. We struggle to come to church when we don't have it. Well, it's tax season, and when these folks start getting these refunds, they're going to be all over the place. But as soon as they spend that money, they're going to be back inside. Because everything good when we got it. This man, watch this, he realized that, God, you want too much. And that's what we say sometimes. I just gave on the prayer line. I got to give again? Yes. Why not? If you believe he can do it, God, I gave you $5 this morning. And you know what? I went to work hungry and somebody bought me lunch. Now, you didn't put the $5 back in my hand, but I had a $15 meal, and I didn't pay for it. So I'm coming, watch this, with my extra $10 I had, because I gave you $5, I still had 10, I'm going to give you that 10. Oh, by the way, prayer line, I got home, somebody sent me a cash app, it bought me something to eat, it made sure my kids ate for it, and I had the gas money to put back in my car the next morning. And all I had to start the Wednesday off was $15, and God blessed me with something to eat, put gas in my car, put food in my stomach for my kids and myself. Why? Because I trusted God. But imagine if we just keep holding on. If we just keep holding on. Somebody asked me the question. I said, how do you feel about this tithing and giving thing? I said, this is how I feel about it. I said, you never see a true giver complaining, arguing, or talking about it. They just show you. This is what God does for me when I give. Because true givers know that God can put it right back in your hand, or God can do something for you. God don't always have to replace it with the tangible. It can be the intangible, but everybody will see the blessing. That hit me. God don't always have to give you the tangible Somebody can put that on their screen. That can be your mantra for the rest of the week. God don't always have to give you the tangible. He can bless you with the intangible, and everybody will know that you've been blessed. See? I said the problem that people have with the tithe is that they think that it's an amount attached to it. So I got $100,000. You mean I got to give 1,000? No, you got to give a dime, 10 cents, 10 cents. And we tell God that we can't make it off of 90 cents. And this is how much of a God that we have. God says, give me the dime. Why? So there'll be meat in my house. Why do there need to be meat in your house, God? Because you can't make it off the 90 cents. So I'm going to have to give you this dime back, but I'm going to have to do it in ways to make sure that you're okay. So right there, I know that you don't know this yet, but you're going to have an unexpected bill, and I'm going to have to use this dime to help you pay that bill. I know you don't know this yet, but on your way to work, you're going to get a flat tire, and you're going to have to get a new tire. So I'm going to have to use this dime to help you do that. I know you don't know this, but watch this, you're going to get to work, and you're going to realize that you left your food at home, and you're going to be hungry all day. So I'm going to have to use this dime to help you get something to eat. Look at all that God can do with the dime, and we still struggling with the 90. It's not the amount, it's your heart. Where is your faith? Do you not know it's our giving? It's the only place that God says, try me. It's the only place that God says that you can walk up on me and be like, all right, bro, what's up? And he says, watch this, I'm so much of a God that when you try me, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to open up the window of heaven. I'm going to pour you out a blessing because you're going to get blessed first, but then you're not even going to have room enough to receive it. But try me. And we try everything else. We do everything else. God says, give me a dime. God says, give me a dime, 10 cents, 10 pennies, 2 nickels. Just give me a dime. And we struggle because our faith is in the money and not in him. Our faith has an and. It has an attachment. God, I believe you. As long as I got gas in my car, it's shining, my wheels clean, it's looking good, it's sounding good. God, I trust you as long as every time I come back to this house, my key work, the lights on, the air work, the heat work, I got food in the refrigerator, my kids are good, the dog bark, my change ain't strange, and my money ain't funny. God, I believe you. God, I believe you when I walk into work, didn't even ask for it, and not only did I get a raise, but I got a promotion. God, I believe you. And then God says, great, I'm finna take the car, the house, the job, the dog, the money, and your family. Are you still going to believe me? Are you still going to trust me? Come here, Job. I'm finna take everything, and you didn't do nothing. Can you still believe me? Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. Job just realized at the end of the thing, as long as I humble myself, as long as I can pray for those. And me and Bishop looking at and me and Bishop looking at each other. Well, God told you, but how you going to do without no money? He's like, I don't know where it's going to come from. He said, but this I know. As long as you keep the main thing can do anything. And as long as you know the main thing is Jesus, there's not a thing you'll go without. Let me say it again. He said to us, that's exactly what he said. He said, this I know, as long as you keep the main thing will work it out. And you got to know that the main thing is Jesus. And if Jesus is the main thing, there's not a thing that he can't do. And not 6 months later, he comes to Atlanta. And he showed this, we still had pictures to get developed, couldn't just show you on the phone. But he shows us that they had already started to break ground. What am I saying? When your faith is in God, then God can move in your finances. But if your faith is in your finances, you can't move your finances to God. Y'all missed it. Well, if I'm giving, I'm moving my finances. No. Because if you're giving begrudgingly, you ain't doing nothing. If you ain't allowing God to do what God has said he was going to do, then your faith means nothing. But tonight, I need somebody to agree with me that I'm not a faith and I'm a faith in. My faith is in God. See, watch this. I'm getting ready to go. Point number 3, faith and always releases. Faith in always holds. A person who has faith in God, watch this, and nothing else, will always be able to release it to God. Those who have faith in their thing will always want to hold on to the thing. Watch this. The widowmite woman, watch this, she released what she had into the master's hand. The rich ruler held on because the master's hand wanted too much. Y'all missed it. The widow-mite woman took the little that she had and she put it in the master's hand because she knew the master could turn it into something. The rich young ruler held on because he felt the master's hand was asking for too much. I want to stop and ask this question tonight. What is easier for you to give up, your faith or your finances? Do we say, you know what, I'd rather keep my money and walk away from my faith, or do I hold on to my faith because I know God can keep my money? Let me help you. A whole lot of people get ready to check out on this message when we get ready to raise the offering because their faith was in their finances and not in God. But I stop by to declare to you tonight, when you put your faith in God, whatever God needs to work out, he'll work it out. Whatever God needs to do, he'll do it. But your faith got to be in God. Tell somebody, my faith is in God. My faith is in God. It should be all over